Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Halloween special for Owlbear's Roost, part 1, because we actually made it to the Halloween. Regardless, welcome, everyone. Today, we are playing Candela Obscura, which is a game part of the Illuminated worlds. What's the word? System. That's what I was looking for. I am joined by 3 lovely individuals who will introduce their characters when we get there. And a few housekeeping before we begin. I am going to put in chat !CO and then that, and then I will pin it. So if you have any questions about anything, you can use those commands that are in there. Everything is there, but perfect. So little bit of housekeeping before we begin. The this is a little bit more darker. Shouldn't be too dark, but just be prepared that it may be something you just be prepared for that. There's a little bit of body horror, so that's the trigger warning I think I'll give for today. It's mentions of death, that sort of thing. This is going to be a one-shot, so we're just going to go until it's finished. Could be a couple hours, could be longer. We're going to go until we're satisfied. So, with that, I think we're going to begin. The year is 1928, in the city of Roost, in the state of Peninsula. This metropolis is the center of industry in motor vehicles. Major companies owning not only the labor, but often the recreation and residence of its workers across the city. Yet, despite this, much of the city's populace is living a good life. Such grand happiness is due to the city's other major industry, rum running. You'd be hard to find a single person in this town whose life hasn't been influenced by the presence of illegal booze, either selling it, consuming it, or dealing with its consequences. This explosion in bootlegging is thanks to the amendment passed in the federal courts outlawing alcohol nationwide. With the Roost's international border just across the river, business opportunities were ripe for the taking. Anyone could get involved. With a bit of cash and some cockiness, even the petty criminal could run some alcohol. This is where we begin our story. In the den of young thieves and delinquents, where pickpocket Finn Holt is counting his collection of the day as 2 other boys enter, arguing at one another.
Oi, oi, what's all this then?
Ricky, I told ya we should not have done it. It was dangerous. The other gentleman looks back. And as you kind of get a good look at it, Finch, you see one of the boys is drenched in water. He's got like a jacket slung over his shoulders, but he's like dripping water. The other one's trying to like yelling at him, but you recognize these two boys. One is Quick Rick and the other is Joey. What? None of your concerns, Finn. The boy dressed in water.
Joey, what if you go for a swim in the river?
Not intentionally. We should tell him, Ricky. Rick kind of gives this sort of solemn look before kind of shrugging. Joey continues. Vinny, didn't make it.
What do you mean he didn't make it?
Come
on, lad, spit it out.
The car, it went through the ice. We had gotten the load from the other side as we were coming across. I don't know what happened.
So the whole car fell through.
Yeah. Yeah. I was able to get out, but then he got trapped. Rick was a lookout. It shouldn't have happened. That ice was thick.
I mean, we know this is the risk we take, but
I'm telling you, something's wrong.
It's very unfortunate.
Oh. Finn.
Where'd this happen?
Just on the river. Finn, I hate to ask this, and I know I'm not meant to know about them, but I don't think this was natural. Rick kind of gives him this look. I'm telling you, you were just an idiot. There's nothing unnatural about it. Joey shoots him a glance before looking back at you, Finn.
What'd you see that makes you think it's unnatural?
Fire. Under the water.
Fire under the water?
I know, it sounds crazy.
Weren't no trick of the lights or nothing?
We had them off. Couldn't have been.
Anything else you see?
Kind of just shakes his head a little bit. Can you talk to your friends? I know I'm not meant to know about them, but I know they handle this sort of thing.
It's all right. Calm down. All right, If you think of anything else, you let me know.
I'm gonna go get changed.
Yeah. Get warmed up. Get fire, cup of tea. Get warmed up.
Kind of shrugs a little bit, eyes to the ground, and walks to the other room. The fire just crackles from your sort of makeshift fireplace. What would you like to do, Finn?
Would I know anything more about any kind of interesting things to do with fire? Like abnormal things to do with fire.
No, I mean, people have been falling through the ice when doing it. It's the risk you take. You mentioned it yourself.
Yeah.
But the fire is strange.
Yeah.
And the group of friends that
Hey, natural.
they mentioned,
Go in water.
they might know more.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna pack up what I've got and head off to however I usually arrange a meetup with my friends.
Well, we pan over to a very different scene. This scene, it appears to be a sort of well furnished with various knickknacks and other random items. A beautiful flat. The smell of tobacco, incense, and booze is in the air. The lights are dim, candles flickering all around. In the center is a circular table where 4 people sit. It is here where one Ginny Thompson is organizing a somewhat serious seance. Times have been, well, good, but you still have to make money. And doing little simple seances for the public, whoever can give you a coin or two, well, you have to make money. You have 3 individuals with you, all from different walks of life. An older gentleman in a beautiful 3-piece suit. A younger woman, hair kind of a mess, glasses crooked on her face. And an older woman, reeks of a cheap perfume. And it's her who's yelling out to you as she grips your hand harder. Where is he? Where's my husband? Why can't I hear him?
If you just calm down, ma'am. All right. Sometimes
talk to him.
Some spirits take longer to contact than others. All right. So if you we need to keep the energy clear in this room so that the spirits can enter.
The older gentleman pipes up. Why does she get to go first? I paid good money to speak to my daughter.
Okay, yes, but see, when you signed up, you agreed, you knew that this was going to be a group session, so that is in the description. So we're just patient. Spirits work at their own times, so we just have to see who's available to us.
The younger woman kind of just staying quiet. The older woman pipes up again. Where are you, Harold? I need to speak to you about you leaving me.
I'm going to look at the woman who's being quiet. And who are you trying to contact today?
My brother. He
I yes. Keep going.
died in drowned in the river.
Was this recently?
No, it was a week or two ago. Ice wasn't fully frozen yet.
Can I do something to try? I want to try and reach out to the brother.
Okay, go ahead and give me a sense roll. It is a first roll of the day.
Okay,
so
do I click on this on my character sheet?
I don't know. Let's find
Okay.
out.
I'm gonna click on my character sheet. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, yeah, okay, wait. These are the dice that you will roll. Okay, cool. Rolling action.
You can spend
Modify.
a drive. You also have a gilded action in this.
Okay. I'm just gonna start with a normal roll, I think.
So it's 2 rolls. So the way the system works, chat, we roll the number of dice equal to their points. So if we look at Ginny here, Ginny has got 2 points in sense. She's gonna roll 2 dice. Now, 1 through 3 is a failure.
Oh no.
Oh, it automatically rolled your gilded die.
Okay. I must have had that checked, but
you don't have any other drives to fill, anyways. Yep. So 4 and a 5 are a mixed success, and a 3 is so 1 to 3 would be a failure. You want to just take the highest of your options here. There's a little bit more nuance to it. A 6 would be a success, and then if you get multiple 6s, it's a critical success. But you rolled a 4, so you're gonna make a success.
all right.
You listen out for the spirits trying to contact. And you listen deep for what may come. And it's hard to focus over the wails of the older woman. She's like shaking your hands. But you just briefly hear fire burns. It burns. And it's all you hear before the older woman wails her hands around, knocking over one of the glasses of illicit booze on the table, smashing it. One of the candles falls over and pitters out. The younger woman looks at you, looks at your expression as you hear these words. And the commotion around her, she gets up and hurries out the door.
All right. The session is over. You've angered the spirits. Now they won't come, so you're just gonna have to come back.
I paid for a good hour, and I want to speak to my daughter. It's at this time you hear at the mail flap at your door just open and close briefly, and something slipped through it. A parchment lays at your door, quite surprisingly for such late at night.
Okay. All right. Oh, you know what? No, I do think I hear your daughter here. 1 second. 1 moment. I do think she's coming to me. Give me a moment. Now, let's see. Yes. Oh, yes. Let's see. Oh, yes, she's here with us right now. She's in this room. All right, she's listening. What would you like her to know?
I would just like to know where she hid her inheritance money in her will.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. Okay, did you hear that? Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, she expected you. She expected that, yeah. All right.
Give me a sway roll.
Oh. Okay. I don't know how to... It's kind of automatically using my gilded dice. Is that... Am I running out of things? Okay.
No, gilded dice are just... It's just if you
Great.
take that color, if you take that one, you get your thing back.
Oh, right. Okay, if you choose that roll, okay.
Mm. What is she saying?
She is saying that she hid the inheritance. Yes, alright. Yes, it is up your butt and around the corner. Get out of my office! The session is over!
Well, I say, the boys' club's gonna be hearing about this. He picks up his jacket and leaves.
Please, let them all know. I don't want none of them. Oh, God.
The woman is just downing a bottle of booze right now, and just like half coherent, slumped in your chair.
Mm-hmm. Can I, like... Is there a way that I can, like... Is it a read roll? I want to, like, see if I can sense what she wants from this.
I mean, yeah, you can, yeah. You can be a read roll, sure. I'm not meant to do too many rolls comparatively to D&D, but I'm happy to do it.
Or, I mean, or if I just know what she wants.
At this point, she's drunk out of her fucking mind. You're probably not going to get much out of her anyways.
That's valid. Alright. Ma'am, your brother says he can't fully come to this space right now.
My brother? I was looking for my husband.
That's what I meant. Sorry. The other one's brother's still in the space.
I need more booze. I'm gonna go get some more booze and I'll be right back.
Yes.
And she gets up and
great.
heads out the door. Stepping on the piece of paper letter that came through the door.
I am gonna lock the door behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And I will pick up the piece of paper as well.
And it has a familiar seal in a beautiful bit of green wax. As you open it up, it says urgent. Meet now.
Okay. I will grab my coat and go to where I go to meet.
Very well. We go over to the final member of our group. You're sat in a very different type of flat. Very more sparse, various instruments and sort of magical items sort of dotted about, but not as extravagant in a living space. Currently, all the furniture has been pushed to the side of the wall. You sat in the center of a circular rug. Candles lit in a circle all around you. As you try and focus on the ritual at hand. And I'll ask, what sort of ritual might you be conducting tonight?
If she doesn't have a specific goal at the moment, the ritual she would be conducting would be a ritual of guidance. Basically, what can I do to acquire further knowledge? What can I do to further my goals?
Okay. I'm not going to have you use your special ability, because I think you can only do it one time, right? During.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably.
It says here, when you perform... Oh, no. Yeah, you can just do your ritual. You may take a bleed mark to perform a ritual on yourself or an ally. But you're just doing a basic ritual. We're not going to have you...
Yeah. It's not necessarily even mystical. It might just be meditative, but she thinks it's mystical. Like, not everything she does is necessarily supernatural. It's more so she portrays it as supernatural.
Give me focus. Give me a focus roll.
If I hit the roll button, it rolls the dice amazingly.
So either you can take the 5 or you can take the 2. If you take the 2, you
can
can
take the 5.
So the reason you might want to take the 2 in the future, because this is your gilded die, you will be able to get a drive back. However, you haven't spent any drive, so there's no point in doing so right now. You're sat, waiting for some sort of answer. And it's hard to focus right now. Beneath you is a speakeasy, and the noise from below is loud. The music blasting, reverberating through the floor. The sounds of laughter and cheering. For something that's supposed to be hidden, you certainly know it's there. It certainly keeps you up at night, especially on the weekends. But as you sit there, and you try to focus and wait for an answer, there's a knock at your door.
Who is it?
No answer.
I begrudgingly would get up. If there's a closing to the ritual that I have to do, I would perform that, because whatever's outside my door is likely to keep me away from it, and I don't want to leave unclosed connections. And I would go to the door. Is there like a window or a peephole or a way I can look out without necessarily being seen?
Yeah, there's a peephole, and you see no one on the other side.
Is there like a door chain, like the chain lock thing, where you can like open it but it's not fully open yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna engage that, and then I'm gonna open the door just a crack to kind of see if I see anything.
You see no one outside.
Okay, and looking down.
Nothing on the ground.
Huh. Okay, I'm going to close the door.
Okay.
That was odd. Do I have any other... It's an apartment. Is it just the one door in and out?
Just the one.
Do you have any other windows that might look out on the street, be able to see someone leaving?
Yeah, easily. I mean, you're on the bottom floor. But as you peek out and lift open the window and take a look, snow is falling currently. And weirdly, you don't see any footsteps in the snow.
That's odd. Okay. So with the lack of...
And you head back in. Go ahead.
Since there's no footsteps in the snow, oddly enough, she'd be more likely to go back to the door and fully open it now. To see if there's anything she missed.
As you fully open it, there's a small little child. I mean, he's not too small, but he's like probably 9 or 10. Dirt on his face, little paperboy hat. Old jacket, like a little winter jacket that's clearly not new. Oh, sorry, ma'am. I brought you this letter.
Alright. Do I often
sorry.
receive letters by way of orphans?
This isn't the
Urchins?
first time.
Okay.
Sure, I was gonna knock, but you just opened the door.
You were going to knock.
Yes, that's typically what I do is I knock on the door, and then they open the door and I hand them the letter.
Well, unfortunately, these days, those things don't necessarily happen in the same order now, do they?
I suppose. This is for you. And he hands you a sort of old stained letter, green
Do you have like
wax.
a penny or like a equivalent of giving him just a little tip for delivering me the letter?
Yeah,
All right, I would give him that.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. He kind of tips his hat at you. Now I'm gonna head out back in the snow. It's a little bit cold, but you have a good rest of your day.
You as well. I wait until he's fully gone, close the door, wait till he's fully gone, lock it, and then I'm examining the letter.
You open the letter, similar to what Ginny got. It says urgent. Meet now.
I'm prepared to meet now.
Hey. Very well. And this is where the group will meet up. So, you guys might be seeing on your Roll20 a large building. This is actually a real photograph from Detroit, in which the city is based off of. But this, as your characters know it, is Peninsula Central Station. It is a beautifully adorned station that various trains are headed in and out of. Beautiful murals painted up along the walls. Gorgeous hotel up above the station itself. Marble columns as you enter. A beautiful clock above the doors. It's later at night, so there's not too many people coming and going. But there is a few, and they are hurriedly rushing to their trains and their various platforms. Now, for each of you, you are headed to one of the platforms in particular. A platform that is otherwise marked off for construction. Various signs up and boards blocking the entrances towards it. You can just about slip through between the gaps. All around is construction work, what you would expect for something being worked on. However, along the platform itself is a beautifully gilded train, gorgeous in every way. The engine itself is typical, but for what your knowledge is, a little more weird, if you will, in how it operates. But you go to where you are expected on the dining car, opening the door from the outside and climbing aboard. Two individuals are beautifully playing some strings as you enter. The whole car, just for the three of you. A table has been set out. And you arrive in the order that I have introduced you all. Finn, after you arrived and informed your lightkeeper of the information, they said that they would assemble a circle for the tonight matters. And as you sat there, being served food beyond your wildest dreams, two more individuals enter. And before we begin that, Finn, I want you to describe your character and what he looks like.
Sure. Finn is a master of nondescript. Kind of cultivated to ensure that eyes would just slide right off him. Yeah, he looks like a nobody. He's lean. Mostly wears not clothes that are particularly ill-fitting, but not, just again, kind of just general workers' clothes. You wouldn't think twice if you saw him walking past you on the street. Kind of a ruddy complexion. Just a kind of lanky guy that doesn't look like too much.
Ginny, why don't you describe how you look as you enter?
Ginny is rosy-cheeked, bright-eyed, wild red curly hair that she keeps cut pretty short, and often tied or pinned so it is away from her face with some sort of scarf or clip or something. She dresses like to the fashions, but tends to wear like extra layers, and maybe likes to combine odd colors together. So she's simultaneously like a fashionable young woman, but also just looks a little odd. And she always has like a little bit of a smile on her face.
And Lillian Knight, would you like to describe yourself as you enter?
She's pale and too thin, with rouged lips and cheeks. Her hair is black in a way that suggests it wasn't necessarily naturally that color. It's generally kept faintly curled, and her clothing, though, it's practical, but it's just a little out of date. It's not the latest fashions, but it's not unusual either. It's more, she dresses in a way to where she won't necessarily stand out, with one exception. When she wears accessories, they are always silver. She does not wear any other kinds of metal.
All right. And the three of you sit down at your table. And you sort of wait. Salads are brought out to you. Glasses of wine. It's decadent in a way that you're not quite used to in your various lives, necessarily. And that is when an individual enters that you all recognize as the Lightkeeper, for at least this area of Candela. They are lighter brown skinned with beautiful freckles dotted across their face and along their arms and their hands. It's a more feminine body. They have auburn hair that's tied up in sort of like an elegant do, clipped with sort of blues and silvers in the clip itself. They're wearing like a fitted cream suit, and you can see beneath the open jacket a silver pocket watch chain in their pocket itself. They're wearing half-moon spectacles that sort of sit at the end of their nose. However, the most notable about them so their eyes glow like a golden sun. The flame sort of trailing off, flickering to either side. As they enter and shut the train door behind them. Hi, you have all arrived. Splendid. You see as they take the chair back and sit down and look at you all. Well, it is good to see all of you again. I do not know if you have had the chance to introduce yourselves to one another, but I'm sure you will find time very shortly. Young Finn here has brought us some interesting intel. Something that we had been watching for a while, but now that it's active tonight, well, we're prepared to investigate it, aren't we? Each of you have very unique skills that will provide useful for your assignment tonight. The goal of which is to gather as much information on the entity and to discern what it is best as possible. We are not quite sure necessarily what you are dealing with, but the intel indicates that it is indeed required, related to the flare. Reports of bleed have been found on either side of the river. It is even further interesting, as there is said that a boundary of the flare itself is said to have flown with the river. The first people who settled this land thousands of years ago tell a tale of a creature that once burst from the riverbed and caused destruction in its wake. Very little is known about the creature itself, or indeed how it was stopped. But it is said that the people of that time, precursors of the Candela organization, were able to put an end to it by burying it beneath the river itself. We have prepared a little endeavor for you all. A car has been prepared for all of you, to engage in a bit of bootlegging. We need the three of you to endeavor across the river, meet with our contacts on the other side, procure a good amount of alcohol, and prepare for what comes next. Now, the three of you may be likely going for a swim this evening. So I would recommend you prepare. We have a car here with various clothing items that you can procure for yourself. Further, we would recommend that you utilize some modern equipment, if you will. There's a salvage yard on the Isle of Bells that may prove useful for all of you. They are said to go down with diving helmets, typically in the summer months, but, time calls for something else. Procure a few of these helmets, and, well, you should be able to hook the air tubes up to the top of the car itself, where we have procured a shackled contraption to help you breathe whilst you're down there. When you get to the other side of the river, before you go for your swim, you're looking for the dock warehouse that has 2 candles in the corner window. That's your location. You'll be meeting with a local gang. Once you knock on the door, tell them Joe sent you. Tell them you need the most that you can fit in the car itself. And you see as they pull from it within their jacket an envelope and they place it on the table. This should cover any sort of costs. Pay them what they need. And it's up to you how you proceed with this. We do hope you come back alive with the intel. So prepare accordingly. That is your mission. Procure the diving suits if you wish. Like I said, you can find them at the scrapyard on the Isle of Bells. You just need the helmets themselves. But if you're feeling more daring, you can grab the whole suit. Once you've done that, make contact across the river. The warehouse. Tell them Joe sent you. Purchase as much as you can and head back across the river. If our intel is correct, which it should be, the three of you will be going for a dip. Are there any questions to your assignment for this evening?
No.
You want us to go underwater to find a creature that was buried there and deal with it? Is that what the summary?
Well, we need intel. Not necessarily don't have to deal with it. If you do find an opportunity to do so, or if the times call for it, then very much so, please do. We don't necessarily know if it is the same creature, but based on what we have heard, it's possible. Regardless of what it is very clear that bleed is present.
Do you have any idea of the scale of this creature? Or what you suppose could be? Like, what do the records show of this creature that was leaving a wake of destruction? Was it man-sized or car-sized or...
It's hard to tell. Tales of thousands years old can warp very easily. But it is said to have destroyed civilizations. Take that as you will. We are certain...
car-sized.
We are certain that whatever is causing the various drownings that have been occurring recently is indeed related to whatever creature you may be dealing with.
Any idea how there's this fire under the water thing?
Fire under the water?
That's what my boy said. He said fire under the water.
Sounds like an expression of its power.
Most certainly. It's not the first time we've seen counterintuitive things come from the flare.
Your urchin knocked on my door before he arrived today. There are many odd things happening.
Huh. Well, that's a first. Perhaps the boundary is thinner tonight, which only tells us we have little time to do what we must. Any further questions before I send you on your way?
I guess we'll just go be about it.
Splendid. The car will be parked out back. Here's the keys. Make sure you take the envelope of cash with you.
Keys.
And the three of you may want to change out of your clothing if you not wish to get those current attires, well, soaked.
I trust you have some good thick wool that'll help keep the damp at bay.
We do. Next car over has been prepared for each of you.
Okay.
Alright. You see as they get up, dab the napkin across their lips a little bit, adjust their spectacles, and walk out the door. Three of you are left at the table by yourselves.
All right. Shall we go on an adventure?
Sounds like we have a long night ahead.
We do. I'm sorry, what were your names? I'm Lillian Knight.
Lillian, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I'm Jenny Thompson.
Ladies, I'm Finch.
Pleasure. Alright, let's be about it, shall we?
Alright.
The three of you procure clothing a little bit better for an underwater adventure. Easily finding the car that has been set out for you. The beautiful top-of-the-line car that you might see on the various streets of the city. But tonight,
Fancy.
it'll be driving across the river. That is, there may be a slight stop, should you be hopping over to the Isle of Bells, which is an isle within the river itself. Procure some diving suits. But it's up to you if you wish to have the diving helmets or not.
Yes, I don't
Yeah,
get underwater. I want the diving helmet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not getting this hair wet. Do you know how long this takes me in the morning?
Ladies, if you don't mind, I'll drive us tonight, if that's all right.
Fine by me. I don't know how to drive.
All right. Finch will kind of mutter under his breath, commenting on he hopes the car doesn't get damaged because it's a fine vehicle. And,
You're only putting it under the river. I'm sure it'll be fine.
yeah. Kind of muttering, what a waste. Gets behind the wheel and off we go to Bell Island or Bell's Island.
Isle of Bells.
Isle of Bells, that's the one.
Belle Isle is the real name for it.
Yeah.
You just
Nice.
stumbled upon. Yeah. You all
all right.
arrive at a big salvage yard sign, blowing in the wind with the snow. 2 lanterns outside of it, flickering. The candle inside barely be able to withstand the wind. You see lights moving within the scrapyard itself, the salvage yard itself. Various docks that quite obviously aren't used at the moment. But it's up to you how you wish to approach this. Currently, you're at the big front gate that is locked at this time. But it is up to you how you wish to tackle this problem.
If we look around, are there lights on anywhere? Are there people
So you do see
inside or
Warehouse
door?
with lights in the corner window.
You see, no, there's no corner window lights. That was in reference to across the river. But what you do see, there's sort of like an overhang bit, and there's some sort of fire flickering from under it. You can't necessarily see at this angle if there's people under there. But it does really seem to be the only real light that you see in the salvage yard itself. Likely a night watch of some sort.
Finch is gonna get out of the car and go up to the gate, see if anyone acknowledges his presence.
No, as you approach, the gate itself is foreboding and large. The fence around it, quite sufficient at keeping people at bay. Whoever's here watching this place isn't watching this gate.
Alright. Take a look at this lock.
Okay. You take a look. And it is a large padlock on the front of this gate.
I try to pick it.
Give me, we'll say sleight of hand, I guess, so hide. Probably the best way to do it.
Where do I click to roll?
On the word, I think.
Hide. Okay.
And with, you pull out your little sort of tools that you've got, the trade, and very easily click the lock open as it falls to the ground.
Okay.
Do you open the gate?
I'm gonna give a low whistle before I open the gate. Check for dogs.
Okay. As you let out a simple whistle, otherwise being masked in the wind, you don't hear any dogs this evening.
Okay. I'm gonna open the gate and slip through and look around and see if I can figure out like where I'm supposed to be going to get these helmets before I risk bringing the car and the ladies.
As you open this gate, it is loud as it screeches, clearly not well oiled. But as you slip in, you kind of get a lay of the land. It's mostly a scrapyard, so all about you. You see piles of various different metals and such. From your local knowledge, this is a salvage yard that handles dumped cargo and sunken ships that appear in the river. And this time of year, they're not doing much other than processing and selling as needed. So the number of people that might be hanging out here is a lot fewer than the summer months when they're actually going and doing divings. You see various sort of stilts and such that they're holding some of their boats up on, keep them out of the frozen water. Bits of dock have been piled up and whatnot. You see sort of larger contraptions that are for cutting the metals and whatnot. Best guess, to your left is a larger building that is likely the main warehouse, where smaller items or processing and personnel would be handled. And that is where you see the light flickering.
Can I get an idea of where the equipment might be? Like, probably not over by the processing. It'd probably be over here by where the boats are and stuff, right?
You can take a look. It could be with the boats, or it may be inside. The issue with that is because, it is wintertime, right? So they might be keeping them inside somewhere locked up.
Yeah.
Otherwise. Go ahead and give me a survey roll and see if you can kind of track where this stuff might be.
Survey is this one.
Alright. You kind of peek around there, the boats and whatnot, and hop up in them, and you find one helmet that seems to have been just kind of carelessly left in the boat itself.
Okay.
But not three.
Okay. I'm gonna take that one helmet and take it over back by the gate.
At this point, with the gate open, I'd be getting out and looking as well. The less time we spend here, the better, most likely.
Yeah, same. And I can take that helmet from you and store it in the car.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll make a survey roll as well.
Yeah, go ahead. You start peeping around, your darker clothing sort of keeping you hidden. And as you're walking around, you see 3 men sat around looks to be a barrel fire, laughing. Some of them got cards in hand. You know, the 3 of them have cards in hand, and they're drinking from a flask, likely bootlegged beer or whiskey or moonshine or whatever. But you see the 3 of them, they're distracted and having a chat. When interesting, you watch one of them, you know, they've got like a little table where they've got all their bets, right? You see some of them put cash down. You see one of them pull out this sort of strange object. It's like it's hard to tell from your angle, but it just looks like a ball of some sort. He puts on the table and all the other guys are looking at him and kind of having this conversation of like, you know, you can't really hear what they're saying from the distance that you're at. But you see as one of them leans forward and is like ready to win whatever this item that's put down.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so they're definitely busy as long as we don't make too much noise, but I'm gonna go alert the others of their presence and the fact that they're gambling over some kind of orb. Maybe one of the other 2 would know more about it.
You return to the others.
Do either one of us know more about it?
Do we?
Do we?
It is not something you have ever seen before. It is.
I'd be willing to reckon it might be of import, though, considering these people dredge the river, and the river seems to be the source of our problems, and this is an object we can't necessarily identify. If nothing else, our lightkeeper might be interested in it.
Might even be why the river's upset.
Perhaps.
Do you think it's worth trying to approach them about it now?
I think it could be, but we might want to get the other helmets and see if we want suits, if we want those too.
I think one of us stay here and watch what happens to the orb. But I think Finch would also be the best to approach them because he's the most at place in this setting. Although you or I could play the lost route with the whole gate and everything, that might not go over well.
That's what I was thinking too, the whole lost
At least somebody should keep an eye as to whose pocket that orb ends up in.
Yeah.
Who is the best at kind of sneaking around so we don't get noticed?
Probably Finn.
Probably would be me.
Okay, then Finn, keep an eye on me and you look for the rest of the equipment we need.
Do you think it is beneficial to have Finn, if we have to go into the building to find these helmets? I'm wondering.
They're locked up, I might be better.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna sneak around at all. I'd stumble from out and just watching them.
Yeah, but I mean, if you just stay back and you watch, and you can describe whose pocket it's up in.
All right, I can do that.
Go in, I feel like that might be a good idea.
All right, I'll see if I can do that then.
All right, then
You're with me then?
Yep, I'll go with you.
All right, we're gonna see if we can find a door to get into the building without alerting anyone.
Easy enough. You unlocking it with your skills and entering as described, a laundry warehouse full of various equipment dredged up from the bottom. Searching through it all, you see plenty of stranger items, but your focus is on the diving helmets, from what I can understand.
And suits, yeah, whatever they're using to dredge the river.
Yeah, you quite easily find some lockers. One's got a lot of them are locked up and whatnot, but the ones that you can find pretty easily on your first looking through it all, 3 lockers, you unlock them. 2 of them have suits and helmets. 1 is just a helmet.
All right. We already have 1 helmet. Guinea, I say we take these 2 helmets and suits that are all together.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
One thing you're noticing as you're picking up these suits and to bring them with you, they have larger gloves on them, so whoever's wearing these may have a harder time using their hands.
Yeah.
Whilst underwater.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like all 3 of us might not want suits, but
yeah,
but maybe up to 2 of us would. So I think
time.
just taking the suits.
yeah, we don't have to use them. We could just take them and not use them.
At this time, the windows to your back, you see light travel across them. You're on an upper floor right now. The light shines across them, and you hear the sound of wheels on the snow outside. Lillian, behind you, 2 vehicles are entering. 2 vehicles are very quickly entering across the snow to where the men can be found. They drive up, parking right next to the men. I imagine you're trying to stay out of view.
Yes. Sorry, I was dealing with my cat.
You're right. Heck an owl. As the 2 cars pull up, you see 4 men step out in unison. Long, dark jackets, suits under it, buttoned up, hats covering their face. The 4 of them walk up to the men. One of them opens their coat to flash something, and the other 3 pick up the 3 guys as the 2 drop the cards, or the 3 drop the cards. They pick up the 3 guys, dragging them into the back of the car, and the 4th man walks up, picks up the orb, puts it in his pocket, and moves to the car.
Okay, are there any, insignia, any significant details about these cars, anything recognizable or memorable?
They are blacked out cars, from what you can tell. Someone has done a very good job to hide any sort of identifying information on these things.
Alright. And I still can't tell anything about the orb from where I am.
No, you're at such an angle that, if you were to get closer, you'd be easily spotted. Yeah.
Do they seem military, like police, or does it seem more like the kind of thing I'm working for?
They're clandestine, but there is a sort of militaristic mentality about how they're operating, how they're walking. They're sort of back. They've been well trained regardless of what they are.
Right. Okay. Yeah, obviously there's nothing I can do against truckloads of military men, so I'm just gonna do my best to stay hidden and remember I'm assuming all the plates were removed, everything like that's gone. I'm just gonna do my best to stay hidden.
You watch as the 2 cars, instead of driving back the way they can, drive straight out onto the ice and go south down the river.
I will watch them as long as I can watch them. make sure that they're all out of the area, and then I will go to where they were to see if they left anything behind. Although the chances of that are likely very slim.
You go and you sort of pick through everything. All you can see is like a half-eaten sandwich. And the cards. None of them had a good hand.
Okay. Nothing further I can do there then. I'd go to alert the others what just happened.
Very well. You meet up with the others.
A truck full of blacked out men just came, took the men that were playing with the orb itself, and drove off south down the water.
On the
Across
water.
ice?
On the water.
Well, on the ice, but yeah.
On the ice, yes.
Yikes. Okay, well, at least we don't have to worry about anyone spotting us on the way out.
I would be very worried about being spotted on the way out, however.
Would Finch know anything about, with all of his near misses or run-ins with law enforcement type individuals, would Finch have awareness of who these people might be?
No, unfortunately, it's a bunch of blacked out men. It's really hard to say. I mean, there's always talks within your group of, you know, blacked out individuals, full blacked out, you know, outfits, vehicles, etc. But unfortunately, no. no, unfortunately.
There's just nothing to go off of, unfortunately. Yeah. And we had no way of following them or even preventing this from happening, so.
Yeah. Alright, we'll probably want to keep a lookout for them later on. It's a shame to lose that orb, but let's move on because the night is wearing on. Do you think you'd want a suit for in the water?
There's snow on the ground. That water's gonna be killing cold. We have to have some kind of protection.
All right. Can I look around and just see if I see a third suit?
As you start looking for one, more cars start pulling out. And more guys get out and start, scouring this place.
We need to leave.
We need to get out.
Yeah.
We take what we got and go. 2 suits, 2 helmets.
3 helmets.
Well, 3 helmets, counting the one in the car, but 2 suits. And...
Very well. You leave the isle, crossing back over the bridge, back to the mainland. You start to make your way, trying to find a good place to cross the river. Somewhere not too hidden, but somewhere close enough that you can get to that warehouse that has been pointed out to you.
Alright. Once we find a place, I kind of want to... Are we also, south of... are we in the same direction, or did they head away from this direction if they were heading south down the water? Down the river?
They head southwest. You are heading in the same direction, yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to keep an eye out for, tire tracks on the snow on the ice or anything like that.
Yeah, that would be when you get onto the ice itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would probably be the riskiest point, so just so you're aware.
Okay.
But all right.
Finn's done this before. Lights off. Careful crossing.
Well, as you guys start to find a good place to cross over, it's hard, right? The place that you find that's gonna work the best is surprisingly near the center of the city. It's sort of like the known place to cross because a lot of people are more focused near a little bit southwestern here, where they're building a bridge currently. That's where a lot of police are watching the bridge to make sure it's safe, but also a little bit more built up around that area. So you surprisingly going to cross in a decent spot. As you begin to make your way across, Finn is driving, correct?
Yeah.
Good. Give me a control roll. As you attempt to maintain control across the ice. Would you like to roll a resistance on that?
Yes, please.
Go ahead and mark a resistance down. You roll another die. You can also spend drives. Well, actually, now at this point you can't, because now you're using resistances.
Okay.
Remember, you can always spend drives to add another die.
Okay.
Not this time around. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
As you start driving across the car, it's hard to drive on the ice. You haven't done this before. You're a pickpocket. You don't deal with the smuggling like some of the boys do. But you quite quickly spin out. And unfortunately, as you're driving, you spin to the side. And because these are open cabs, you go out and slide across on the ice. The car is sort of careening out of control, naturally coming to a brake. Finn, I need you to take a mark of body. Describe what happens. How does this look on your body and what happened?
Gosh, I'm trying to think of like how this would. I guess maybe just a kind of like a like a center mass, but kind of like on my like back, kind of just gets scraped up, sliced up.
Sounds about right. It's not a good feeling what has just happened.
Nope.
Brush yourself off. You get up and you get back in the car.
You alright?
Sorry about that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be alright. Just gotta breathe through it.
Okay. Are you going to continue driving?
Yes.
You going to do anything different this time, or are you just going to keep doing it, pedal to the metal?
No, like go slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just go slower and be more
careful.
Yeah, super careful.
Easy enough. You make it across to the far side of the river. And God, I'm not finding any good ambience music. Everything's too aggressive.
So aggressive.
This might work. There we go. As you get to the far side, takes a little while. for you to locate the warehouse. The storm is getting farther and farther aggressive. Almost full blizzard at this point as it blows, but you pull up to the side door. And how would you like to proceed?
This is where we look for the corner window with the 2 candles, yeah?
And you've located that building and you're at the door.
Right.
It's up to you how you guys wish to proceed.
Okay, I'm gonna try the door. Is it open?
No, it is locked.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock.
Yeah.
Alright. So are you gonna be the individual who deals with whoever answers the door?
Sure.
The sort of slide on the door itself slides open. Yeah. You lost?
Joe sent us.
He kind of pauses, looks you up and down. What's with the kid? Looking at Finn, who is not a child, but is just younger and scrappier.
I think take talent wherever you can get it, right?
I guess. You have money?
Of course.
You followed?
Sorry, what?
Were you followed?
Oh, no.
Alright. Shuts the thing. You hear a bunch of locks unlocking. Opens up. And he kind of leads you down some staircase. Opens up another door. And there's a couple of guys just hanging out in this really scrappy looking area. Old couches. Smells of tobacco pungent on the air. Some of the guys are kind of just messing around. Some of these guys are playing cards. You see there's like a boxing ring on the other side. And it's interesting, as you're entering this area, you guys start to realize, like, there's a few guys in here who have seen some shit. Obviously, a lot of them have scars. A lot of them, like, maybe one of them has got an eye patch on. But what's most noticeable is that some of these individuals have more strange wounds about them. They try to hide it the best they can, but you can spot one of them. It's almost like their hand is split into pieces, floating, almost like if you shattered something, but it stopped mid-shatter. Another one you see has got sort of like wisps of like ethereal looking energy coming off of one of their legs. Alright. Saw the car you brought. He says, he sits down at the table. How much you need?
As much it'll fit in it.
Alright. We can give you that if you got the cash, but I gotta warn you. Every time we send a full load across that river, despite what they're driving, whether it be a sled dog or it be a nice mud car like you've got, they ain't coming back. I'm kind of getting sick of losing material down there. Don't get me wrong, we've already made profit from it, but it'd be nice if word got out on the street that our stuff was good, and if it's going to the bottom of the river, well, business is business. We had a kid die a few hours ago. That's why I'm a little hesitant with the kids that you brought right now. Sorry.
He was one of mine.
Well, your friend was careless then.
I know. but I'm not.
Well, you had enough for a full load, do you?
Should do.
Let's see it. It's 15 a gallon. Based on the vehicle you got, you could probably fit about 8 gallons.
Count out from the envelope the appropriate amount of money.
Yeah.
So, about, what, $130? Yep. Which...
I was like, I don't want to do the math.
Yeah,
Do we have extra left over in the envelope?
yeah, it's a bit.
Okay. Y'all have any bandages?
Bandages.
Yeah, just
No,
anything.
this ain't a hospital.
Got any like clean cloth or anything I could rip up?
Kind of looks around. Anything look clean in here to you?
I don't know.
No, we
Can
don't have
I-
anything clean.
Just like take off a scarf on my body and offer it.
Okay.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. Can I buy like an extra little flask of the alcohol as well? And just clean up this wound that I just had.
That's good stuff you're wasting right there. As you're pouring it onto the scarf.
I'm not wasting much of it. And it's not a waste if it keeps me from getting sick.
Suit yourself, but that's good stuff, I'll tell you. Best of the best.
I'm gonna take like a half a sip out of the flask real quick just to appease him.
Okay. It's strong. Like, really strong. To the point
That's
it
why I
probably
said I
should have
take a half a sip.
been... It's still strong.
Oh my gosh.
I would say, of course it's good, otherwise it wouldn't act as disinfectant now, would it?
Yeah.
You know your stuff. Like I said, be careful. For some reason, the more we send over there, the less likely it gets across.
Ben kind of files that information to talk about in the car.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what you're weighing. Now get lost. Mounties are patrolling tonight. Don't need you getting caught or getting us fucked over.
Have a good evening, fellas.
And yeah.
Alright, so we get all that loaded up in the car. Get back in the car.
Okay.
I want to drive out of here. I want to pick up a conversation about the stuff that just happened.
Where are you driving? Go ahead, Seraph.
I have a question about one of my abilities.
Go ahead.
So the ritual that lets me do the circle of protection, does it only soak so long as a person's in the circle, or is it like the next time they take a body mark they soak situation?
It's the next time they take a body mark. Soaks, I believe. Yeah.
Alright, perfect. Thank you.
I think, yeah. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, like, do you have any kind of like a map or anything for us to like look at? Anything that kind of shows us like where we are to give us an idea of like?
I can describe it to you. I didn't make a map because it's a one shot. You're on a road that runs on the. I mean, if you pull up a map of the Detroit Canadian border, gives you an idea of where you're at. You're on a road that's running along the river. It's like the river follows the road. Okay, you're at one of the docks along this. Now, obviously, nowadays there's no docks there, but in the past there would have been docks that jut out into the water all across this river area. Same thing on the far side, on the American side, or in this case, differently. But where you cross is probably the best place to cross. It's where everyone crosses, and it's where everyone seems to go missing. So based on that, it's likely where you want to try to cross. But are you just driving along the road right now, or are you going to churn and go across the river?
I mean, if this is the only place to drive across the river...
Before we cross the river,
I think we should.
We want to get prepared for going under, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, before we go on the water.
Okay,
all right,
who's wearing what?
I'm gonna defer the suits to the ladies if they want them. Like,
I am not super good with my hands anyways, so I think I don't lose a lot by wearing a suit.
So before we start, I would let's. It feels like I don't know what it would take to be in the water without dying when it's that cold. Is my real sticking point here. So
we also got a bunch of clothing from them, right? So they
good heavy. I imagine some kind of like a waxed wool clothing, because that would be extra. Like, it would help keep water out. So I imagine at this point, like, we've got a lot of layers going on. I did probably scrape up some of my clothes, but I don't know if Athy will allow it. Maybe we had like an extra couple of shirts in the car or something like that that I could change up maybe the scraped up clothes.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the scarf to like kind of bandage up a little bit, and then put on the different the non-scraped up clothes.
I'm not too good at moving around either, so if he's willing to give up the suits, I would take one, but before we start, I would want to perform a ritual on Finn specifically.
Okay.
So I would want to use my ritual ability, which is basically how that would work is she would set up basically a circle of candles around you with you in the center. There would be some symbols that you likely wouldn't recognize within that circle as well, and the intent of this ritual would be circle of protection, basically, for the next time that he gets a body mark, for him to soak it. I will take a bleed mark for this, though.
Yep.
Okay.
But considering what we're getting into and that he's already been injured, it seems worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll take all in all about 5 minutes total from start to finish for the ritual.
Okay. So we're just pulled off the side of the road. We're doing this ritual real quick. Getting on the suits and the helmets.
Mark yourself a bleed mark and describe to me what that looks like for you. So this is a magical sort of wound, and it can appear in so many different ways. It could just, like I said, it can be nonsensical in terms of like you grow tentacles, or it can be fiery, or it can just be like runes. Your imagination is your limitation in this regard.
Is the bleed mark the one on the right that looks like blood drops?
Yes.
Okay. So a magical mark that she's taking for doing a protection spell.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have to be okay? So we're in like the 20s and 30s, right?
Yeah, 20s, 28.
Let me look something up real fast.
Okay.
Okay. And this is a physical thing about her, or can it be like it's supernatural?
It's supernatural.
Okay, so this is the thing that comes to mind that kind of it's odd, and I don't know if it's too dramatic, but it would start subtle since this is the first bleed work. She doesn't seem to be as well lit as everybody else when you're standing in full lighting. It's almost like the shadows are clinging to her in some way.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, it just seems to fit the whole persona she's got going on.
Dark and stormy. It works.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys are getting these suits on, I'm assuming so. Finn's just got the helmet that you found in the boat on.
Yep.
Okay. All right. With that, as you guys are starting to get into the car, ready to cross over, you guys start to hear hoofs clopping in the snow. And it's coming from along the road.
Are we back in the car now, or is this while we're still getting ready?
No, just as you're getting into the car.
Oh, it's probably a Mountie. We gotta go.
Yeah.
As you guys get in, you guys see individuals, Mounties, on horseback, and they spot you. They start making their way towards you guys. What are you doing?
I think we should start across the river
We
because
should
we're gonna go
go.
through
We're
the ice anyway.
planning on
Like,
falling through, so
yeah. Just,
No.
I don't want to talk to the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys start driving, you just because you're in like an alleyway, so you just drive straight, and you're going like just straight off onto the river.
Yeah.
The Mounties, start to speed up a little bit, and one of them pulls out a bell and is like ringing the bell above their head, trying to like get you to pull over.
Oh my god, their siren is a bell. That's so cute.
Yeah, no, we don't. But onto the river.
We're not pulling over. Fuck the cops.
You see a couple of them start pulling out pistols as they're riding.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
All right. As you guys start going, you start to see on the far side of the river marked police cars pulling up on the far side of the river, and you hear their sirens as they're circling the siren noise and starting to make their way across the river towards you guys. Are you still going to keep that slow
go
pace?
through the ice. Yeah, we're going.
We're committed now,
speeding up by now.
Give me a control roll to see if you can maintain control of the car.
Motherfucker.
As you hear them behind you.
Okay.
You can add drive if you want to add more dice.
Yes, I want to spin drive.
You should be able to. Does that pop up when you click?
Yeah. I'm gonna add 2 more dice.
Alright.
Oh.
I'm so glad I added that 3rd die.
Oh.
You're going. And you're going, and you're driving, you're trying to move across, you're sliding across the ice. And you're moving quicker and quicker and quicker. The snow pushing you as you're trying to maintain control. And you do, but you start to spin out. And that's when you guys notice something beneath the ice starts to light you up from below. Like someone's shining like a massive torch beneath the ice. And it gets brighter. Like a flame. It gets brighter and brighter and brighter.
Alright, here we go.
And just as the Royal Mounted Police attempt to catch up to you, you hear and you just sploosh into the water. You hear the sound of hooves trying to break on the snow, like the sort of like pushing the snow back to try to stop themselves from falling in. You hear the brakes on the far side of the cops who are coming from the other side, and you are instantly submerged in cold water. It is frigid regardless what you're wearing. All of you are going to take a mental mark from just the shock of what you've just gone through, because regardless if you're able to mentally prepare yourself, jumping into freezing cold water, it's gonna be cold. And you're not inside a cab, or like you're not inside a enclosed cab, it's an open cab. After that sort of initial shock, it is eerie. The light from above, from the moon across the ice, slowly dims as you go deeper and deeper into the water.
Do we see any more light, like, around us that, like, was under the ice or anything like that? Like, or is it getting dark?
It's getting dark to start. And you don't sink instantly. You're not like a rock. You are going relatively slowly based on the air pockets in sort of the vehicle as they start to fill up, right? Mm-hmm. And as you're making yourself deeper and deeper, this river goes about 53 feet deep as you sink. You notice now, though, the diving helmets that you guys had attached the tubes to the top of the canopy, that bit has popped up and is now floating on the surface. The coil of air tubes sort of lifting up, and floating on the surface. So you still have air. You're still breathing thanks to the, sort of the line that you've got.
Yeah, as long as the cops don't fuck with it.
As long as the cops don't fuck with it. And as you start looking around in this frigid, cold water, you start to see a little bit of light as the riverbed begins to as the riverbed begins to float up. It's hard to tell in this murky water, plants all around you, and you feel a thud as you hit the ground. And it's at this point, Finn, you realize why this helmet wasn't properly stored away.
I had a feeling about this.
The tube that you would have been connected to has disconnected. The seal broken. And slowly, your mask is beginning to fill with frigid, cold water.
Do we notice this?
I mean, yeah, he no longer has a tube attached to him.
Can we talk in our diving masks?
Unfortunately, not really. So if you want to get an idea of, like, you're wearing, like, think like the stereotypical old diving suits, like
the diving bell helmets,
the big like metal ones,
like this.
Yeah. I knew I should have grabbed that other helmet. Is there anything I can do? Can I grab that? I don't think I have anything to, like, attempt to patch it up with anything.
You can put your hand over the hole to prevent more water getting in.
But there's no way to, like, reattach the tube.
No, the tube's floating up.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, it's an
I can
air-filled tube.
Can we swim up and and grab it and then?
With the time that you could attempt to. Yeah, sure. If that's what you'd like to do, I'm gonna give you it's gonna have to be a move roll. If you really want to try to right as because what happens is the car hits the ground, that jolts you all. That is just enough to pop out the tube because again it's not properly sealed, and it starts to float up. So if you want to try to swim back up in a metal suit,
worth a shot.
Can I try to grab it too?
You are unable at this time, so I'm gonna leave it because you are so jarred by the water filling your the mask. I will say this: either you can put your hand on the back to prevent more water coming in, or you can try to swim for it.
I'm gonna try to swim for it.
Okay. So I asked this: does Finn know how to swim?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a move roll. Both of you.
Okay.
Unless you want to help, because you can help by giving a drive.
I will. Yeah, I'll help. I'll help.
So mark down a nerve drive. You get to add an additional die.
I get to add an additional die?
I don't have a nerve drive, so I can't do that.
I think it has to be from the same one. Unfortunately, let me check.
Okay, so I just have to roll separately then.
Let me see. Helping an ally. That contains the action. Yep.
Okay, so then I'll just roll. I can't help, but I will roll.
Okay, you both try to swim up. Does Ginny know how to swim?
I'm gonna use a nerve drive as well.
Okay.
To add
you can use
a
multiple.
dice. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Then you start swimming up. And as you're going up to grab it, your helmet is filling and filling with water. To the point that it is just so cold across your body and your face. You take that the body mark. Your circle of protection breaks and uses it to save for that mark. Okay? So as you're swimming, you feel the cold pushing and pushing and pushing, and then you just feel like a pop as that energy protects you. And you feel a little bit warmer. You swim up, grab it. And now what are you doing?
I'm trying to reaffix it to my helmet.
As you reaffix it to your helmet, it's not sticking. It's not sealing. You can do it, and air is coming through a little bit. But unfortunately for you, a lot of that tube has already been filled with water as it started to float back up. So a little bit more water comes in. It is rough right now. You are having to keep your head tilted up just so your nose is above the water.
Well, because if it's pushing oxygen down the tube, then the tube shouldn't be full of water.
It's not pushing oxygen. It is a simple air tube.
Okay.
Think of it like a straw.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not a full machine, you know?
Yeah.
So it does.
I'm just gonna point up to attempt to indicate that Finn can go back to the surface if he needs to.
It is a 52-foot swim.
So maybe he can't go back to the surface if he needs to, but...
Sorry, can you describe what the bottom of the river looks like again?
Yes. So, there's a lot of plant life here at the bottom. Various fish around. Obviously, it's cold. It's frigid. However, you do notice something now that you're beneath the water. And what you are looking at is what appears to be that's not the right music I want. This one. What appears to be relatively fresh dirt that has been dumped into the water, laying across, pushing down plant life along where you're at. And go ahead.
While they're trying to save Finn, the two of them are already working on that. There's nothing else I can do right now. I'm going to start digging.
Okay. As you start digging, you kind of look up and realize in front of you there's something that is lit up on the seabed. So this dirt has been sort of put parallel with the river down the center of it. And there's different stages of how fresh it is. Like some plants has grown on some of it, but you can still tell it's relatively new and has been dumped within the last few years. Mm-hmm. But you notice some sort of structure beneath the water that has been placed here or built here.
How large is the structure?
Not very. Think of it about the size of an igloo.
Is there an airlock?
There is.
Okay, I'm going to immediately get their attention and point them towards that structure.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys all stop making your way over to the structure. Now as you approach, you can see some sort of metal built contraption. It's been welded to make like a dome over wherever it is positioned. It sinks into the dirt. There is a metal airlock that has been created, and you can see some sort of contraption on the outside that you likely operate from the inside to expel water from inside of the airlock itself. It's at this time you notice that, sorry, you don't realize at this time, sorry. So the door is like a spinning wheel. Is anyone going to try to use their physical strength to spin it? Because it's going to be difficult underwater.
I think the two of us working together that aren't actively drowning would be the best bet.
Yeah. Yeah. That aren't actively drowning.
The two of you can easily do it, but the issue is your hands are slipping with the gloves that you're wearing. You are going to make a, we'll go control roll.
Oh boy. Well, at least one of us is.
Why didn't that show up on here? What the fuck? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, surprisingly, Lillian, fucking buff as fuck, apparently, able to just open this up, spins
Determined,
it open.
at least.
As you open it, water rushes and fills this chamber and kind of splashes back in like a wave. And quickly, this airlock chamber is filled with water. You guys enter it, and you can see there's a sort of a gear with like a lever that you spin that looks like it's likely to be the one thing that expels water. However, you are going to need to detach your hoses if you're going to shut the door behind you.
Yeah, it's either we do that or Finn dies. I'm doing
Yeah, yeah, same.
Okay. You detach. Do you try to hold it so no more water enters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So all three of you have your hand on the back. Shut this door, spin it closed. I'm not going to make you roll another one. And as you start to expel the water, it is cold, Finn. I need you... No, I'll say the spell's still protecting you. As you start to spin this, you hear the water just slowly draining from this airlock. And it's at your chest, at your waist, at your feet, until it's near empty. The riverbed moist beneath your feet. You're able to remove the helmets if you wish.
Yep.
Yeah, Finn's gonna immediately like take the helmet off and like throw it to the ground. Is like panting and like holding his chest like fucking helmet.
Oh, you good?
Yeah? No?
I suppose that should have crossed our mind when we found it just laying in a scrapyard.
I should have known better.
Yeah, I don't really have much diving experience, unfortunately. Alright, now that we're in here and not actively drowning, the very first thing we'd be doing is trying to figure out who the fuck owns this and how likely we already be about to die.
Are you opening the door on the other side of the airlock?
Not yet.
Oh god.
It is
I'm
very
looking-
hard to tell. It is just a metal little chamber that you are in that can barely fit the three of you.
I think we gotta move forward.
No good way back yet.
As you open the door, it is interesting because you find it's just circular dome beneath the water where the ground floor has been sort of smoothed out on the riverbed, and there's a hole that has been dug out from beneath, or from this area, and it descends beneath the riverbed.
Down we go.
As you descend, you start to notice things more up your alley. Quite obviously, there are various supports to support this dug-out hole, metal and wood to uphold this place. But it's essentially a pit that has been dug out. And as you descend, you start to see little effigies sort of scattered across the sides, some hanging from the supports. They all have something in common. Depictions of fire. You see various little wicker men.
Is this a weapon? I said that in character.
What? I don't know. Is there anything that Finn sees that he would be like aware of?
Unfortunately, no. You're essentially in a dirt tunnel that has various supports to it, and all across the ground and hanging from places and even painted on some of the walls are just various depictions of fire and various different effigies, like they're honoring something.
Praise the god of flame. Or the
Fucking
creature which
weird.
makes them.
You see two options as you proceed forward. The main tunnel continues. The supports, the effigies, everything depicting what you would expect. But there's also a side tunnel. This looks newer. No effigies or depictions of this creature as you descend, or as it descends, and it's smaller. Which option do you choose?
Well, we want to learn about the creature, right? That's like our main mission.
But we don't necessarily want to come face to face with it.
I feel like maybe that new tunnel is related to our friends that stole that orb in the black cars.
Alright, do you want to go down the new tunnel first? I feel like it might lead us back up to the surface, but it doesn't hurt to check.
I mean, securing a way out wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, and we can always turn back around.
Correct.
Right. As you walk down, there are still supports holding up the dirt around you. But you start to see some interesting things here. You see boxes of dynamite, various digging tools. And as you approach the end of this tunnel, you see something strange. High quality metal in a curved fashion. You appear to be the dirt tunnel that you have gone up to is along the side of this, the outside of which is likely the metal. It's unclear what it is. You see on it there's someone chalked over points with like various X's as if they're planning out where to cut or drill. You also see, a box of what appear to be blueprints.
Rummaging through the blueprints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah.
Maybe not
be...
all of them at
No.
once. But
Sorry,
you were making a statement, not a question. Okay.
Oh.
All of them seem to be for what is labeled the International Border Tunnel. All of you, as residents of the city, would know that this is a tunnel being built for commerce and cars to travel beneath the two countries. And this appears to be blueprints for that tunnel.
Okay.
Interesting. Is this the end of the tunnel, or does it keep going?
The end of the dirt tunnel. Yes, this is the end of this side one.
Okay. So we should turn back around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back.
I'm gonna keep. Do any of them look like they're any kind of like a map or anything, or are they all just?
Do any of them mention the tunnel that we just came from?
Yeah.
Nope. All of them seem... Okay, 1 second. Out of the...
Oh dear.
Rudy,
Rude.
you're ruining my immersion.
That was Dasher, actually.
Yeah, sure.
There's
Ruining
this
my
tunnel,
immersion.
and on one of the blueprints, you can see someone's barked an X over a completely different font, pencil, whatever. But nothing mentions the tunnel that you're in. You suspect this dirt tunnel is not official, and they are targeting this tunnel for some reason, to match up with it.
Can we tell where we are related to that tunnel using these at all, or nah?
You're on the side of it. So as you're looking at it,
Oh,
it's a metal tunnel. You are essentially at a perpendicular dirt tunnel across the side of it. So if this is like a big tube under the ground, you're along the side of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
is there any access to it from where we are? I'm guessing not really.
There are there's tools that you could use to cut a hole, but
Okay, let's save that for later.
Yep.
okay.
But keep that in mind
Yeah.
because we're not
Yeah.
going back out the same way we came.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, you could swim up, but I looked it up. But you wouldn't be able to use your diving helmets very likely because it would just be.
Yeah. The weight.
Uh-huh.
So it would be a fight against the shock of swimming in the freezing cold water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because fortunately, there's not like decompression issues or anything like that at these steps, but
None at this step, no.
all right. So I guess we turn around and go in the other direction.
As you descend down this tunnel, you begin to notice ancient structures, large pillars. As the dirt cavern starts to open up more and more, you see large pillars etched with various runes across all of them, arches and depictions of different things across the various walls. And as you turn a corner, it is here. Sorry, I'm choking.
Dying.
It is here that Athy died.
Okay. As you turn the corner, you feel an intense heat. You know when you open an oven and you feel that sort of heat coming from it?
Yeah.
It's like that. It is horrendous how hot it is. It's bearable, but it is strong. And as you turn the corner, you see the creature.
Immediately get
for the first time.
hypothermia because I'm like freezing and now I'm burning up.
What you see, excuse me, what you see looks like pitch black, charred and melted flesh fused into the dirt and into surroundings. A large mass of this charred flesh.
My narrative objectives compel me to taste it.
Oh my god.
It has no eyes, no mouth. It is just
It's
flesh
alive.
squirming. However, there is a singular opening at the center of this large fused mass. And inside of it is like the center of a furnace, burning hot flames. You notice as the color of the flames change drastically across the entire visible spectrum. Green flames, purple flames flickering. It's almost like an aurora. It'd be beautiful if it wasn't so disgusting in the fact that it's flesh.
What's straight above it?
It is completely fused into the dirt all around. However, you do notice, holding it, sort of fused into the flesh itself, are these large metal chains tied to large pillars on either side. You can only see two of these chains, however you would presume there are two on the other side as well. And it's kind of hard to see because the tunnel doesn't... you can see that it likely was carved out, but this thing has grown so much that it has filled the sort of area that it's in. You also notice an individual who is dragging corpses into the furnace itself and chucking them in. You recognize some of these individuals in the pile of bodies as the three men who you watched get kidnapped earlier. They are now laying there lifelessly.
I would point this out.
The individuals like sort of hunched over, picking up these bodies and tossing them in. And as into the flame. As he's doing this, you see him turn around to try to pick up what appear to be bottles of moonshine, kind of tower piled up along the side of it, chucking these bottles in as well, and the flame grows brighter and brighter.
I think letting him feed it might be a bad thing. Sorry.
He turns and he looks up. He says, "Oh, great fire. I hope you accept this gift." And he turns around to pick up some more bottles and he sees the three of you. "Wait, you're not the torchbearers." He's holding these two bottles, kind of just looking at you, confused.
And you're not a fire demon.
What? Oh, no, that would be, that'd be the eternal flame behind me. And he turns around and he's like opening his arms. And that's when you watch one of these flames licks out like a whip around this man and wraps around his torso. The skin that is visible becomes charred and begins to crack, flames flickering all across it. And he starts to say, "I've been chosen!" And the flame pulls him into this mouth. And you hear him screaming in pain inside the furnace.
Well,
Okay, I don't want to get closer to that.
No.
Hey, we've gathered some information. Let's go.
Little bits of fire are sort of floating, like little embers in the sky, floating across the walls. And you see every time it hits either the pile of bodies or the moonshine, it sort of melts into this beautiful little floating flame.
Do I see the orb?
Give me a search or survey.
Okay. Survey.
You do not see the orb. However, what you do notice, the chains dangling from the pillars. One of the ones connected to this mass is starting to heat hot and is beginning to show that sort of hot metal color as it's melting. And you hear as the chain goes limp, as it cracks and melts, as one of the chain falls and is just swinging, no longer connected.
I look at the others and suggest we leave the room, and I also say, I think we need to dump the river on this. If we can break the airlock, we'll have to go at this carefully because we have to get ourselves out. Break the airlock with the tools, dump the water on this, and escape without dying.
You see the flesh on the ground starts moving towards your feet.
Nope. Whatever we're gonna do, let's do it fast.
Yeah, let's get out. Okay, there's dynamite, and there were tools for cutting.
If there's dynamite, we can make it a timed explosion. We cut our way in, we set the dynamite to go off. Do any of you have experience with dynamite? We're leaving as we're discussing this.
Yeah, we're running. I'm a pickpocket. I don't know anything about dynamite.
You let the fuse, it explodes.
I just talk to dead people. I don't.
There were no other like rooms or tunnels or anything to explore.
No. You see drawings across the walls, and it's funny, Miss Thompson, that you mentioned you speak to dead people, because now you start to hear around you screams, people burning alive over and over again. It's getting louder as this mass begins to move. Symbols are marked all around. There's runic marks up the pillars that start to glow. And the chain starts to glow, but it is no longer attached.
Okay, hear me out. I think we destroy the door we came in. We destroy that with dynamite. That'll send water shooting down here. And then we run up. It gives us a little more time because that's down. And the water will go down there first, and then we run up.
What's going up?
Was the secondary side tunnel upwards?
Nope.
The other tunnel. Oh, the other tunnel was down.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to have somebody setting the dynamite at the same time that everybody else is cutting it open. That's the only way this is gonna work.
Yeah.
And run really fast.
Okay. Let's get back to where the other tunnel
screams
ends.
get
and there's
louder.
Oh fuck. Okay. So,
we could
Yeah,
also just
Only
collapse the
Ginny hears this.
tunnel.
Can I God, I don't know. I want to see if they're trying to tell me anything. If I don't know if they're just screaming or if they're trying to reach out.
Give me a sense roll.
Option number 2, we just collapse the tunnel and don't worry about fucking around with the airlock.
Yeah.
I want to do an extra die.
Add your drives if you wish.
Yeah, I had one. Okay. A 5.
It is intense how loud this is, okay? To the point that you are going to take a mental mark for this, because it is so unbearable.
Yeah. I think Ginny probably is slowing down and holding her head.
And as you listen, amongst the screams, drown it, or it will grow, drown, and it's like the quivering voice. You also hear another voice, 2 more individuals coming, torchbearers, soon.
Okay. When I can snap out of that, I will say we have 2 unfriendlies coming our way, and we gotta drown this thing.
Okay. Alright, does Skinny look like you said he's slowing down, uncomfortable, but we're trying to book it out of here? I'm just wondering if I could pick Guinea up and keep running. Does it look like she needs help, or? Yeah,
I think at least a little take my hand and pull me, kind of,
Okay, Finch is gonna grab Guinea's hand and keep looking it toward where there was the cutting materials and the blueprints and all that stuff.
So, I think we're gonna have a better shot at collapsing the tunnel and flooding it that way than necessarily messing with this sturdily constructed metal igloo. The soil and the supports holding up the soil are gonna be a lot more likely to collapse. But the question is the water going to rush in if we do that?
Yeah.
Gotta do something.
Yeah.
Can we remember, or if we get back to the blueprints, see if there's do the blueprints show us anything that shows a more clear way that if this one tunnel collapsed, then this would flood.
So the thing is, the blueprints aren't for these tunnels that you're in. The blueprints are for the international tunnel.
Right, so I forgot. These
basically, what's been happening?
Either.
Yeah, it's a metal tunnel. It's the Detroit Windsor tunnel. Basically, it's the car tunnel that goes under the river. And what's happened is someone's digging man-made little holes around,
off the side of it.
Not off the side of it, but into the side of it. So it doesn't originate there. So you would have to cut a hole in the side of the tunnel to get in.
Yeah.
And then
in metal.
You could theoretically do it. It looks like it's been worked on, right? It would probably take you a few minutes.
Okay. Okay. Do you
fuck it. Well, let's blow the airlock door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the dynamite and as much fuse as there is.
I think if we can prep our exit and then set the dynamite, run like hell.
I think that's our best bet.
Well, if there's 2 unfriendlies coming, they're probably going to come through the airlock, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, they're going to see our car there. What if we just open the inner door of the airlock? And when they open the outer door...
That's really good.
It just floods.
Yeah, and then just keep the dynamite on us in case we need it to collapse something to, like...
Yeah, okay, so Finn's going to run down and do that and open the inner door of the airlock.
Well, the inner door is already open because we left it open.
Oh, I guess we did.
Yes, we'll just leave it open.
And there's no automation to it, right? It's all just a mechanical system?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just on that. Yeah, on that mechanical.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on the way...
I'm wondering if there's a way we can collapse the smaller tunnel to keep the water from getting to us while we're trying to get to the car tunnel.
Use a smaller charge to collapse the outside edge of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Flames start licking around, like in a circle around the tunnel, making its way upwards.
I don't think we have that much time.
Yeah,
okay.
No, let's do it. All right. I'm going to start taking the cutting equipment and start cutting into the tunnel.
Okay. Give me a control, because this is a finesse thing.
Fuck, does anybody have more than 1 dot in control?
I got nothing, so I'm like, I roll a disadvantage for control.
I have 1 dot.
Okay, I guess I will spend some drives.
I have no nerve. My nerve is completely empty. I have nothing in my nerve box.
Flames licking quicker and quicker and quicker,
rolling.
And as you watch this, Finch is starting to cut a hole quicker and quicker, and the flames are spinning. What are you doing to stop these flames coming up higher, as almost like an explosion of fire is coming up the tunnel now that it's been unchained?
We don't need to light the dynamite, we just need to throw the dynamite at it.
That's true.
That will feed it because fire feeds it. That's why they're feeding it the moonshine.
I don't.
Explosion if it collapses tunnels, like.
Can I take off like a coat that my top layer of clothing and try to like keep the flames at least away from us? Try to smother them.
They're magical. Sure. I don't think you're gonna be able to do that.
I know, but I have nothing else.
You know what? I took a bleed mark earlier. I'm gonna take a bleed scar. To save this.
What are you gonna do?
I have a forbidden ritual. It is complex and dangerous though, so I don't know if I have enough time. It does not specify a time that I need for this. It would just be complex and I would need to keep calm enough to use it. I can change the environment in this forbidden ritual.
Ooh.
If I deoxygenate the environment, flame can't survive. There's also, I could turn the environment into water, which will start the process of giving enough time. So I could do one of those 2 things with a change to the environment.
Will that also change our environment though? Like, will we then be? Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, we could be almost through the tunnel, so like.
Yeah, Finch has almost got a hole. How?
Yeah, I think the
water from following you. And the changing it to water seems slightly safer for us, although still not super safe. I also think it may be worth just trying to collapse this. It's not. Sorry. We're as the flames. Can we still collapse the tunnel, or are the flames like in the room with the blueprints already? No, they're coming towards you. You could collapse the tunnel to prevent the water and flames from getting to where you guys are at.
Yes, I think that's what we should.
We're gonna collapse the tunnel to prevent the water and flames from getting to us.
So, Jenny, are you still trying to smother the fire? As Lillian is trying to do this ritual? What are you doing with the ritual?
Oh, I wasn't sure that I was gonna do the ritual at all if we're just collapsing the tunnel.
Yeah, I think we should just. I think we should
just
collapse
collapsing the tunnel. We can do that with mechanical means. We don't have to take bleed mark scars.
Okay, you're using the TNT?
Is there like a pickaxe or something a little more subtle? But that would take more time. Okay, I'm using the TNT.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing with it?
It's our only option.
Okay, so how far away are we from the flames right now?
They're coming up towards the crossroads.
How far can I throw?
We'll find out.
Okay.
You start to hear sloshing sounds from above.
Do we have
stick of TNT and throw it towards the fucking entrance of the tunnel?
Give me a strike roll.
Oh god. Can I use I don't have any drives in nerve, so I can't use a drive, can I?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No!
You toss the TNT, but the water, it hits, like, as it hits the ground, the dirt is moist enough that the fuse goes out. What are you doing?
I will take another throw. I'll try throwing one.
Sure.
I don't.
No, don't throw it again. Like, embed it into the side of the tunnel. It's just dirt. Just dig a little bit of dirt.
Yeah.
And embed it
Can
in
I
the side
just
of the
put it
tunnel.
like really close to one of the tunnel supports?
Okay.
And if I have a match, I'll light it myself and then run. But I don't know if I have that.
I would have matches with me at the very least for my rituals.
Yeah,
and they'd be waterproof because I don't go underwater.
Great. Yeah. Then I'll stick it really close to a support, light the end of the fuse, and then run to the other side of the tunnel.
Move. Give me a move to see if you can dodge the explosion.
It's really literally nothing. Oh, fun.
You watch the explosion goes off. You're kind of tossed to the side. Jenny just hits the side. You're going to take a point of a body mark because of this explosion. It hits you and you're burned from it. The tunnel, the support falls and the dirt hits. You hear sloshing sounds from above, unsure if it's the river itself or water coming down. But you begin to notice behind the dirt, it starts to glow. The dirt is glowing hotter and hotter. Almost like the flame is intelligent enough to push through it.
Do we have any more dynamite? Like, I don't know how much dynamite there was.
It wasn't a lot.
I have I have a strange weapon. Can I do anything? My strange weapon.
What does your strange weapon do?
I don't know. I forgot to think about it. I cannot think of a strange weapon that would even help in this scenario, so.
Alright, am I through the thing yet?
Almost. You're almost through. But the fire is almost through the dirt. What are you doing?
I don't know what else to do.
You start to feel it's hotter and hotter in this chamber.
Can I try to reach out to the fire spirit thing?
Do you want to lose your mind?
I mean, no, but what else are we gonna do?
Alright, how are we cutting through the thing?
It's like
there were tools.
It's like a
Yeah,
tool
like
to
some kind
cut
of like a torch. Welding torch. Cutting torch.
Getting hotter and hotter. You're about to break through, but do you release the fire into the tunnel? What do you do?
Alright, as I've been setting up for the ritual, as this is coming to a head and it's becoming clear that it's going to get here as we're going to break through, and we don't want to let the fire through. The problem is we are using a torch and there is fire. How big of an area can it change the environment of is the other question.
Tell me what you want to do. We'll make it happen.
So, what I am going to do, it says drown. We're trying to drown the fire. We're trying to give the fire, so it's already being drowned from the top. That's what the lush water is.
Maybe.
We're trying to give We're trying to drown the fire and make sure that it can't come. We don't know if let me think. Sorry, we don't know if okay. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm going to try to time my ritual for as we get through into the tunnel. I want to turn. How do I know how deep beneath the riverbed we'd be at this point? Can I estimate?
It was like a 52.
No,
foot
beneath the
drop
riverbed.
down.
I don't know, a good amount. I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
10,
so
15.
I'd want to time it. Does it seem like we'd be able to get through before the fire can kill us?
You don't know.
Okay.
Also,
Can you
like,
just, like-
I've just the way this is being communicated to us. I think cutting through this and letting the fire into this tunnel
Would be bad.
I'm trying to think of a way to solve this that doesn't just kill us all.
Yeah.
Because
Is there a way that... Can you change the environment of just the half the room that the fire's coming in on?
Theoretically, but if I do something like turn it into a vacuum or even into a pillar of water, then that's gonna disperse, right? If I did this whole room, we would die, but so would the fire. And I'm trying to think of a way that we don't die. Hold on, what's a phenomenon?
In what regard? Conjure a phenomenon?
In the regard of conjure a phenomenon.
Like a spirit or a creature or...
You
Conjure
something that
a
can dig through
water?
like conjure something that can dig through the dirt to like bring the river in.
Seaweed blood raining from the sky. Ooh. I could conjure. Okay, if I'm conjuring a phenomena, it could be water from an inexplicable source raining down into this tunnel. We would just have to hope that that would be enough. I'm trying to think. Hold on. Sorry, this is like there's a lot of things I can't do.
You're
The
okay.
question is
You're
what can I
okay.
do and survive? Okay, so phenomena is any and all mysterious occurrence. The phenomena could literally be a hole appearing between me and the riverbed and the river coming down into this tunnel. The thing is, though, would we be able to get out in time and survive? I would have to time it so fucking carefully.
Which tunnel are you putting in? Because currently, right now, you guys are in like a small little chamber because you collapsed the tunnel.
I don't have to see what I'm putting the phenomena in.
No, you can just put it on the other side.
I can put it on the other side of the fucking chamber.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
Okay, I'm going to... A hole is going to appear between the top that leads from the tunnel to the riverbed and let the river in on top of the fire on the other side of the wall where we're relatively safe from it. But as a result of that, that is a bleed scar, so the shadows are permanent and they will never go away.
And as
Okay, it's a good look for you.
you do that, as you enact this crazy ritual, you first hear water pouring down into the tunnel behind, the fire quickly dissipating, the dirt holding, and then you can just about hear the sound of someone turning the dial on the airlock, and more water coming down that. And just as this happens, Finn punches a hole through the tunnel. And as you quickly climb to the international border tunnel, two construction workers look up at you and go, "Well, who the fuck are you?" And with that, as you are desperately explaining yourself And while you're covered in dirt and various wounds, soaked in water in some regards, we will call this story to end. The creature officially returned to a watery tomb.
Hell yeah!
You discovered what was happening. Likely cultists or followers of this creature were bringing bodies and moonshine to fuel it. And the more it got, the more likely it was to break free. But even further so, that fresh dirt had to come from somewhere. And just as always, the pursuit of progress caused nearly mankind's downfall. As they dug this tunnel out, they would dump the dirt back into the river, unknowingly covering an ancient tomb. This allowed the fire to regain its strength, to build stronger, to gain followers. But you have stopped it, for now. And with that... Motherfucker.
Yeah.
And with that, a new creature comes at large in the world.
Well, and with that, your assignment is complete. Some of you taking various marks and scars as a result of your actions. But the city is forever safe, thanks to your deeds. Another
But only
assignment
for
complete.
now.
Your assignment is complete, but the work is never done. Thank you for playing. That was Candela Obscura. It's a one-shot, nothing too in-depth. Single assignment that was completed by our 3 characters. I would imagine the 3 of them go on to form a circle within Candela Obscura, handling the various deeds that may come forward. Creatures from the flame.
Transfer life.
I want to thank you guys for playing. I hope you had fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was
Thank
a
you.
lot of fun. If you ever wanted
Yeah.
to do a longer term campaign,
It's much on my mind. If D&D never patters out, then perhaps we do a longer Candela game. But I hope you all had fun with that. And thank you everyone for watching. I will be exporting this into a highlight that you can watch here on Twitch for free. Yeah, so you can at least
Remember,
confront-
kids, don't just pick up helmets that are laying around. Behind a locked door is always going to be better.
Yeah, the summary of this event will be in the full VOD of this I'll have up soon for everyone to watch, and it'll be on YouTube on the 1st. So thank you. That was a from my birthday subathon. It was one of the goals to run a Candela game, and I'm really glad we did, because I think it was great. So next week's Owlbear's Roost will be normal, relatively normal. It will be our Halloween special. It's our weekly D&D game. If you are new here, we play D&D every Saturday at 10 a.m. For our game called Owlbear's Roost. If you guys are welcome in watching that, you can find all our episodes currently in the videos below, or you guys can stop by on Saturday. Vanny is one of our amazing players, and Sammy used to play with us, and maybe in the future, hint hint, nudge nudge. Certain things are planned. And Sarah, if you are always welcome to join our D&D game, should you ever wish.
thank you. I'll consider mine.
Tomorrow will be... Well, I'm going to continue streaming, but tomorrow will be board games. We're going to be playing Betrayal at House on the Hill. So everyone here is invited to come play. We play every Saturday, or Sunday. So if you'd like to play Betrayal, it'll be tomorrow. Thank you very much, chat. Let me take it. Hell yeah. I'm going to jump over... I was debating if I want to play WoW right now. I will play WoW later, because I'm needed on purple for something. So I'm going to go on purple RP for a little bit. Just give me a few minutes, chat, and I will get that all sorted. I'm going to put you on BRB, and I'll talk to you in a bit.